Usually, there's many reasons to play a game, but in the free ones, well, there's only one reason. It's the mechanics. They're unique if you discount a story about my uncle. We'll get to that, don't worry. But the story you're thinking? No, absolutely not. I mean, you know me, I'm not one to deep dive into the themes and story of a game. I'm notoriously bad at looking for themes in a story, so I don't even try. It was a surprise to me when I noticed that the free ones has a terrible story. I've written a long list of questions and complaints. I'm not going to cover them all. The game tries to hit emotional beats it doesn't earn. It even tries to explain the fun parts to create a reason why the game is fun. That's so tedious. It misses the chance to give context and history about the world. For example, these moving boxes. Why did the developer put them in?
I thought this part of the island had been abandoned.
It was.
Then why are those crates moving?
Oh, right. There used to be transport goods, but nobody comes here because there aren't any resources left.
Come on, it's to give the players a chance to grapple across something awesome, to challenge the player to make it to the other side. The free ones throw some throwaway dialogue about how this area used to move shipments. Who cares? It's a blast to swing across this chasm. It challenges the player to use their grapple charges without wasting any. There's no need to explain why the boxes are moving. Pointing it out in the story only makes it more obvious. Who cares about some shipping boxes? Anyway, does any of this matter? Sorta. The cutscenes and dialogue disrupt the excellent gameplay. If you can bring yourself to skip all the cutscenes, you should be good to go. I'm not able to do that. I was hoping they would give me something. So the mechanics are excellent and the reason to play. I appreciate they give you all the tools right away. For the tutorial, you only get one hook shot, but after that, for the rest of the game, you get 3. This way, the challenge is at a good level right away. This also means not much changes. After the second area, you have everything. The flow of the game is well done, with a challenging section following an easier one. It alternates between them. You get through a tougher part and then are greeted with a fun connecting pathway to the next test, which keeps you playing. I finished the game in one sitting. At no point was I frustrated enough to stop playing. Although, there are spots where I had to repeat a section many times. To allow the free ones to have a good flow, they made one strange decision. There are sections that are more complicated that come before the easier section. It feels like a mistake. They came up with a basic swing idea, then iterated on it. But then they put the more complicated one first. It's odd, but if this is the sacrifice they needed to make to get this game pacing, it's worth it. So the swinging mechanic has tight controls and it's predictable. It's the perfect combination. The tricky sections are fun as you work out a repeatable strategy to get through them. The free ones also gives you a lot of air control. Helps with the small adjustments, but it's much better to use the grapple to pull yourself to a flat surface. Momentum is important as well. You'll need to keep the momentum going to reach the next grapple. For example, jumping off a fast-moving train pushes you forward. Then you swing to keep that momentum to reach the next place you can swing. Side note, I even ended up using the grapple to get through the easier sections. I bet this is a fantastic game to speedrun. I noticed sections that could be skipped if you master the movement. Keep in mind, you can only grapple on wood, which includes trees, and that's where some of the speedrun technique comes in. Anyway, that means the game gets more difficult when there's less wood. It does lead to situations where you play Find the Wood. It's like Portal 2, if you remember. In that game, you had to find the white spot to place the portal. It's not a reason to skip the free ones, but I had to mention it. What I respect most about this game is that it respects my time. Instead of having to grapple all the way back to the camp, they have these easy sliding sections all the way back. It's a fun reward after all the tricky grappling. It's much easier than the rest of the game. It's cool to look back at all the work you did too. Along the same lines, the checkpoints are good, and you do not have to replay any sections. They're placed before each challenge, so you can't cheese it. One final thought is that the game isn't challenging. Sure, there are a few spots that I got stuck on, but for most of the game, it went well. It took me about 3 hours to finish. Like I said, I did it all in one sitting. If you want more of a challenge, you can go for the memorials. These are flags you can collect. They're in difficult to reach locations, but they only save if you touch solid ground. So you need to complete a challenging section while holding it. It's a simple way to add more game and enjoy the mechanics. Ah, shoot, I almost forgot. Is the free ones like a story about my uncle? A little. If you liked a story about my uncle, then you'll definitely like the free ones. The free ones has a worse story, but better mechanics. Overall, the free ones is good, and I liked it. I recommend it if you can ignore the story. They should have deleted a lot of it and kept it a minimal experience. If you want to feel weightless and have a fun swinging adventure, then pick it up. Especially if you thought going for all the memorials sounded like a good idea. Yeah, I know this one's a bit of an older game, but you know what? They're just as good, so I need to cover them, and the mechanics in this one were so much fun. Hope you enjoyed it.